what is ChatGPT?
Well, hopefully, Joey, I can give a simple but effective explanation because it was only a few weeks ago that ChatGPT was released, and I first heard about it on a different podcast that I was listening to. And in short, it's an artificial intelligence chatbot. But it's not like anything we've seen before. In fact, it's been called so sophisticated that it could potentially render search engines obsolete. So I know our folks over at Google are a little bit nervous right now, simply because this technology can write complex essays. It could even write code, which I found so fascinating. And of course, as an HR pro, Joey, I started thinking about like, well, what about all of those developers' jobs? But it can do so much more. It could write sales pitches. So, what does that mean for the future of folks who work in these roles and really all of the other jobs that this has the potential to complete some of the tasks that are currently being done by humans today?
Yeah, and you know me, I'm a fan of innovation and technology. But this one, I'm a little concerned. I am concerned. Similar to the Tesla bot that will take over some warehouse tasks and assembly tasks. I'm concerned now for the knowledge worker who sits in a seat of writing copy, doing marketing, even entry level jobs in other aspects that might have to do with maybe researching, fact finding, and compiling reports. This chat GPT can do so much that I'm really wondering how it will all play out in the end because it does so much. I was chatting with a friend of mine and they were showing me like all the use cases that they were able to do in just a couple hours of playing with the software. And mind you, it as of this recording, it's free. So it's like there's no cost to go in and try it. But they were saying that they were able to maybe even reconsider their hiring for the new year because instead of maybe bringing on two more marketers, well, they've likely just replaced 1.5 full-time marketing pros because of all that it could do so quickly. So I'll stop hogging the mic, but it's very very much something we should pay attention to from an employment standpoint, from a commercialization standpoint. There's a lot to unpack with this topic.
It certainly is, and I love hearing you speak about it because I think, with such innovative technology, it's sometimes hard to really envision how something can truly change the way that we live and work. I know I've mentioned this on prior podcasts. I mean, think about life before the internet, life before the iPhone. I mean, it's hard to envision something you just truly don't know. You don't you simply have no idea. And I think when it comes to Chat GPT, the thing that really stood out to me is how it's so different than just using a search engine, right? So when you search for something, say on Google, you have your search term and then you're provided with a variety of results, and you as a human pick the best one. But with Chat GPT, you can type in what you're looking for, and with the complex algorithms, it's able to actually provide you what it believes is the best answer. And after, as the human reviewing it, you might look at it and say, okay, well, that's great, but I need this to be modified to fit XYZ. Then you have that conversation with the chatbot, and it modifies those initial results to fit the new modification that you just provided it. So it's just truly mind blowing. And I tried to get in there to actually provide some examples of searches and results for our show, but it's blown up so popular, Joey, that the servers have been busy. It's really difficult to get on right now.
Yeah, yeah. Server supply is definitely not meeting user demand. So You may have to stand in line a little bit, virtually speaking, of course, before you can get into it. There are other AI tools out there that you can currently pay for and obviously have consistent access to. But this Chat GPT, I think, is really going to change the way that businesses look at and utilize artificial intelligence for the benefit of the organization, but maybe it could be at the expense of labor. So it's truly a fascinating time that we're living in right now, and this is probably as close to a human brain that we've gotten from a content perspective.
I do think we will see throughout the year new ways to utilize this technology. I also see that it is going to be a risk to some jobs as it's already being utilized for, those repetitive tasks. I think it's just going to expand on that. However, there will still need to be a human for many of these processes involved. But, to enlighten the listeners, Joey, to some of the conversations you and I have had about it offline, I think it can simplify some of the tasks that we're already doing that are a little more time intensive. It can get us to the finish line being more efficient. And so when I think about how this can, transform businesses, I see the potential for cost savings. I see the potential for just being more efficient overall. And, as we've discussed in the past, I think the early adopters are going to have quite a leg up on those who kind of wait, sit back, and try to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, if you have questions about Chat GPT, we're not the experts, but we just wanted to bring it to your attention because it is something that you should be paying attention to. I think it will impact even those entry level folks coming out of college, uh, who may not have had a strategic focus to the way that they've learned their skills, and really just thinking about managing your teams and who does what and what you might rely on this technology to complete. So like Summer mentioned, there are pods, there are articles, there are things that are out there in the space that will tell you more about this. But we wanted to bring it to your attention. So uh, mission complete. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our Consultants Corner. Consultants Corner is brought to you as always by Jumpstart HR. We are your HR outsourcing partner to provide you from everything from recruitment, employee onboarding, compliance, training, employee relations, essentially becoming your HR department. And you can learn more about us at jumpstart-hr.com. And I actually could go to Chat GPT if I wanted to come up with 5 cool slogans to put at the end of that.